Hey guys, Metal Viking 82 here, back yet again with more of my CD collection. Just like the last video, a lot of, quote unquote, new metal and hard rock, modern rock, I guess you can say, in this particular section. But then we're going to start getting more into kind of that metalcore, thrash, stuff like that in the future videos. And then saving, I guess you can say, the best for last, because then we're really going to delve into the death metal and black metal and things like that. So I'm definitely looking forward to those videos because those are pretty much some of my favorite genres. But yeah, gonna start things off with a band that I used to have several of their CDs. I ended up selling them, and I'm kind of slowly buying them back. This is Tool with Opiate, and then yeah, that's I thought I had another one, but anyway, on to the next band. We have Kitty with Spit. Really good. Kind of like this particular album, in my opinion, they kind of sound like the female version of Slipknot. That's just my particular point of view, but I do love Kitty. They're supposed to be releasing a documentary DVD here soon. I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm hoping after that they'll get around to putting out a new album. I got this for $1 at the Half Price Books outlet store. Got the Paper Doll EP. We have Until the End, Funeral for Yesterday, 2-disc edition. We have In the Black, which was actually my first Kitty album, and I love that cover. The lady's just looking sexy as all hell. And then their last album, I've Failed You. Not too bad. Kind of a little bit of a step down from In the Black, in my opinion, but still pretty good release. Like I said, I'm hoping they eventually get around to making some new stuff. And this one and the next one, God, I can remember listening to the songs off of these albums like constantly, so I was really happy to finally pick these albums up. Godsmack, self-titled. I always remember when people talk about Godsmack, I remember seeing this album in Best Buy and everywhere else for the longest time. And then, of course, Awake, another solid album, in my opinion. Then we have Faceless. The Other Side EP, which is basically an all-acoustic EP, has 7 tracks on it. Basically, some of their more well-known songs like Running Blind, Touche, Voices, Keep Away, Spiral, Asleep, among others. That it's just all acoustic. It's all right to listen to, but definitely not my favorite thing to listen to from them. Then we have 4, The Oracle, and their latest one, which I'm not really thrilled with, 1,000 Horsepower. Same can be said for this. This is Sully Erna, the vocalist for Godsmack's debut solo release, Avalon. Did not really care for this at all. I don't know what he was thinking. And this next band, I remember that back when I first saw these guys, the vocalist scared the shit out of me because he just looked creepy as hell. Every picture I ever saw of him. And this is Seven Dust, self-titled. Like I said, back when I first was hearing about him, every time I saw a picture of him, he just creeped me the fuck out. I don't know what the problem is, but we got Home. This is Animosity. Next, which I think this is pretty sure this is a 2 CD edition. Then we have Alpha. And Seasons, which for some reason that almost sounded like it was loose in there, but I know it can't be. And they're not their latest one, but the last one that I have from them, Black Out the Sun. I know they've got like an acoustic CD out, and I think a new full length. I could be wrong. Another one that I'm probably going to get some flack for, but I don't care. Cold Chamber, self-titled, and Chamber Music. This is the Notion Tragedy No Home single. And the Tyler's Song single. I got this one and that one both for $1 a piece at the Half Price Books outlet store. God. We have Dark Days. And then this is Giving the Devil His Due, which is kind of like almost like a compilation of sorts, I guess. Found it cheap. Decided to pick it up. And then, of course, their latest one, which I think is just a really good album, Rivals. This is the 2-disc CD, DVD version. Comes with like a documentary about the making of and I think a little bit of a history of the band. But it's mostly a making of, and I watched that and I thought it was really good. Next up, we have Mushroom Head with XX. And this is 13. Save Your Sorrow with kind of a little lenticular cover to it. Can't really tell because of the sleeve I have it in. Beautiful Stories for Ugly Children. And their latest one, The Righteous and the Butterfly. Alright. And then I can thank Tyler for getting me into this this guy's music. He became like a major fan of him, and I always liked some of his songs, but I never listened to really any of his albums. And because of Tyler, I've owned pretty much everything he's got out right now, just about. This is Marilyn Manson with the Lunchbox EP. Portrait of the American Family. Smells Like Children EP. Antichrist Superstar, which is one of my personal favorites. This is The Last Tour on Earth. Mechanical Animals with a really, really creepy cover. And then one that I think is pretty much one of his last really good ones up until his latest one, Hollywood. This is The Golden Age of Grotesque. And then his kind of more emo album. This is Eat Me, Drink Me. About the really only good song on here, in my opinion, is the lead-off track, If I Was Your Vampire. I love that song. Not a very good album at all, but that song is pretty badass, I think. Then we have High End of Low. A little bit better. Born Villain. Yeah. And then, of course, his latest one, The Pale Emperor. Definite return to form. Probably, like I said, ever since Hollywood, I think this is his best material. This one was a complete blind buy, and it turned out to be some pretty good modern rock metal. Sons of Texas, Baptized in the Rio Grande. Just check out the song, Texas Trim. Really good song. And this one I picked up after Kenyon and I talked about this album, and he told me how really good it was and said I should definitely at least give this a shot because he thinks, if I remember right, he said this was probably their best one. But The Curse by Atreyu, this is, like I said, probably the only album I'm ever going to get from them. But yeah, I've always did really like that cover though, the kind of hot vampire chick. But overall, it's actually not a bad album. I actually picked it up based off of his recommendation. So then we have Jeff Loomis, Zero Order Phase, as well as Plains of Oblivion. Really good instrumental metal, which is the reason I show it here is because I keep it next to this guy here, John 5, Vertigo. Again, all instrumental, no vocals. And we have Requiem. Looking awful creepy there. And the one that actually I picked up first, it got me into him, God Told Me To. You know, I've always enjoyed his playing, and I was really surprised to find track 2 on here is his version of Beat It. And I really got into that. That's a pretty damn good cover of it. Ah, yes. This one and the next one really takes me back. Brings like some good memories of high school. I can remember seeing a friend of mine come driving into the school parking lot jamming this album here. Rob Zombie, Hellbilly Deluxe. Classic in my opinion. And his follow-up, The Sinister Urge. And pretty much after this, his stuff, in my opinion, is just a little bit hit and miss. Educated Horses is kind of all, yeah. It's alright. I love track 2, American Witch. That's a really good song. Then we have Zombie Live. His first live album. Really cool stuff. And then we have Hellbilly Deluxe 2, which is not super great in my opinion. And then this one was actually a little bit better and definitely a more return to his older sound. Venomous Rat Regeneration Vendor. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing anything new he comes out with. Then we have Device, self-titled, and Fight or Flight, A Life by Design. You can kind of see where this is leading up to. And this is another one that brings back some memories for me. Disturbed, Down with, or should I say The Sickness, I'm sorry. Stupefy, they're probably one of their more well-known hits off of this album. Still, fucking heavy album. In my opinion, I love it. Say what you will about Disturbed. Then we got Believe, 10,000 Fists, Indestructible, another fucking fantastic album. Pretty much, I don't think there's really a bad song on that album. Then we have the Another Way to Die EP, which I actually got this at work, at Walmart. I could not believe we had that. And then we have Asylum, which was okay. It wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be when I got it. Then we have The Lost Children, which is basically a bunch of unreleased songs and stuff like that. And then their latest one, Immortalized. Really, really solid album, in my opinion. Made my honorable mentions list. And, yeah, this came by surprise because nobody knew they were even working on a new album. So, this one I bought because I always remember seeing the CD, and I found it pretty cheap, and I thought I'm going to give it a shot. You know, what the hell. This is The Union Underground, self-titled. Then we got Murder Dolls, Beyond the Valley of the Murder Dolls. It took me a while to get into them, but yeah, I do actually enjoy the Murder Dolls. And then Women and Children Last. We got Stone Sour, self-titled. This is Come Whatever May, my first one that I picked up from them. Again, I got into this band because of one of my best friends of all time. He's my brother from another mother. Then we have Audio Secrecy. This is a 2-disc edition. Then we have House of Golden Bones Part 1 and Part 2. And then we have Scar the Martyr, self-titled, which, as you can probably tell, is leading up to the final band for this video. That is Slipknot. This is the Wait and Bleed EP. Self-titled. And then I also picked up the 10th anniversary edition of the self-titled, which comes with 2 discs. And I gotta say, I quite enjoy this edition of it because it puts things back in the proper order. Because I guess from what I understand, some of the songs on this edition were kind of put out of order or some shit, and then there's some other stuff in here, demo versions of songs as well as different alternate mixes and stuff. Really good edition, I think. Then we have Iowa, fucking amazing album. And then we have the 10th anniversary edition of it. Again, folds out like that. And this is actually a 3-disc version. Then we have Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses. Live, 9.0 Live. Then we have All Hope Is Gone, which is definitely not their best material. And everything's falling apart on me here. 2-disc edition. I actually went back and gave this album a second chance. And I do enjoy it a lot more than what I used to, but it's still nothing compared to their first 2 albums. Then we have the Devil in I single. And we're going to end on their latest one, 5, The Gray Chapter. Big return to form, in my opinion. I absolutely love this album. Like I said, it's probably their best thing since their first 2. So yeah, that is going to do it. Like I said, after this, we're probably going to be returning to more, I don't want to say less controversial stuff, because I know a lot of people don't like, new metal and stuff like that. People give Slipknot and Disturbed and bands like that a lot of shit, but whatever. Like I said, a lot of this stuff just reminds me of when I was in school and when I was just getting out of school and things like that, so it's whatever. But anyway, I'm going to quit rambling like I seem to want to do a lot. I don't know why. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching and subscribing, and until next time, stay brutal.